Yo, I'm live. I'm still waiting on my guest. He was in the studio. Something had happened. That hasn't happened before. Anyway, so we had some sort of malfunction. Oh man. I said oh man. I supposedly sent him the wrong link. Oh man. Anyway, bear with me, y'all. I gotta send him the correct link. Shit happens. Anyway, let me see. Yes, sir. Anyway, he should be coming in soon. Anyway, Nordic Black family, we in the building still, and we have a special guest. We live now, baby. So I
Hey,
said, forget,
how are you?
forget all the theatrics. You know what I mean?
That's how it is.
Let me, let me see the comment section. There we go. Yeah, yeah. So we live now, man, on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna make sure that it don't echo. Yes, sir. I can see us. So yeah, yeah. Everything is good. Everything is crisp. Everything is curry. You know,
Nice.
and I'll make sure that I put it on Facebook. I think everything is alive and well. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how life is, man. You got hiccups and shit like that.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Better than
Right.
times.
So we got Carl George Rødsten.
Rødsten.
Thank
Very
you, man.
Norwegian. Redstone. I'm
There-
thinking of changing my name to Americanize it to Charles George Redstone. It's very
okay. Right. Because
American politics with that name.
they killed me for that, man. When I be butchering the Scandinavian names, I
Nah,
did
come on. We have
for
strange
real.
names. Norwegian's most famous and painter is Odd the Nerd Room. So
right,
that's a strange name.
right. So he's a director, writer, producer, editor. And I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting, but director, writer, editor, producer, and things like that. So he's known for Wallach. I think, am I pronouncing it correct?
The Somali title, I don't. It's Wallach. Wallach.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, Wallach.
Somali.
Yeah, right. Where he won. Where they did you win an individual award, or was it for the best Norwegian short film in
I won for the best
2022?
Norwegian short film in back in 2022.
22.
Yeah,
Right. And he has other short films out there. Penance, Gushegrun,
yeah,
uh,
that's
uh, 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 and All the Moldud, which is a feature film, right?
yeah. I worked as a first AD on that one. It's
Okay,
that's
assistant director. Yeah,
a bit of a calcu. That's a bad movie, but it's a fun watch though. It's a very
right,
well
right,
done.
right, right.
Recently, I've done a documentary, All Makt til Ingen, All the Power to None, which is about the Norwegian youth riots in early 80s, where
Okay,
actually,
yeah, I seen it on here somewhere because you
yeah,
have yeah. I was trying to the
it was
different
back when
credits.
the Norwegian kids actually tore the whole of Oslo apart.
Right,
Every to 1st of May, which the 1st of May is the Labor Day in Europe. So everyone, all the laborers are free. So the kids, yeah,
right,
pulled the city apart back then.
right. Cool. But yeah, I guess the most notable here is Wallach, where you guys won the best short film,
Yeah,
Norwegian short film, which was about what, 17 and a half minutes long or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Okay.
18, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then you wrote for that. So now to start out, your background, you are, because by the thumbnail when I saw your when I first saw you, and we were following each other on Facebook. When I saw the little thumbnail that you had on Facebook, I thought you were half black. I thought you was biracial, and things like that. And every time I posted something anti-racist or some, yeah, then you commented as well. And then I always thought that you were a black guy. You know what I mean? Basically. And
I
so
have this I have this look I've been taken for being South
right,
American a lot.
right, right. And I know, like now and in person, yes, American,
Yeah,
but but
Chilean or something.
but in a couple of your pics when you have it in the little thumbnail, I thought
Yeah,
you were, I thought you were like half black, or whatever, with curly hair,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, yeah. So and then when I first met you in person at the cafe, which is not right around the corner from my crib, um, which I didn't realize as well. Your office, anyway, and it was my surprise that you,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No,
and
I mean,
your appearance.
actually, I'm mixed. Half half Burmese, so that's
Right.
Burma. For those who don't know, is Myanmar. That's next to Thailand. It's a country that's
Mm,
been in a horrible military dictatorship since the 60s, and right now,
right.
huge.
And I know that because they had that one lady from me,
Aung San Suu Kyi, who won the Nobel
right,
Speed.
who
Nobel,
won the Nobel Award, but then she had some controversy because
it's
later
all
on,
difficulty, Burma
you
has
know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah, Burma's 149 minorities, and yeah, the Rohingya people have been persecuted in Myanmar up by the border to Bangladesh. But you have the
Right.
same
Right.
also, which people don't talk much about, is the so many more minorities in Burma have been tried eradicated by the military junta. So it's a horrible situation. And when Aung San
Right.
Suu Kyi won the election, she didn't get to be able to be prime minister. She got a foreign minister role, and but it was all a sham. It's very
Mm,
difficult, the whole thing. It's very sad. It's very sad what's happening
right.
with the Rohingya. It's
Very
like
complex situation there.
it is, and the Buddhist
Absolutely.
monks doing this. They're not. It's horrible. It's shameful. But it's the world
Right.
is a very 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 bad place. I think
Right.
it's
Absolutely.
kind of.
And which one? Your mother's Burmese or your father?
My mother's Burmese. My
Yeah.
father
Okay.
is actually half Russian.
Ah, that's right. That's right. Okay. I was thinking you're half Norwegian. Okay, so so your father's half Russian and half Norwegian.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
My grandmother from my father's side,
Okay.
she came
Okay.
to Norway. Her family came to Norway in 1916. Like for some
Okay. Wow.
historical reasons.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because you look like you have, like, now that I see, Burmese, and then also some kind of indigenous kind of Sami or some
now that's just half mixed.
yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the Asian European mix. You end up having this. You
Right,
do
right.
look like indigenous Samis because they also have the the traits from a lot of Asian countries. So that's how that's so you end up looking a bit of everything. I mean, this is why people think I look South American, I guess, because they're also it's a very mixed areas. I think you're muted. I think you muted there.
Now, no, I'm muted now, but I hope this shit doesn't, yeah, mess up for some reason. I don't know, something wrong with software because it automatically had did that. But anyway, I think after you put on a lot of makeup, you can fuck around and look like Michael Jackson, my man.
Yeah, that's what people maybe maybe I
Right,
should start the Michael biopic and cast
right.
myself.
Because when you were in line at the cafe, you did a little turnaround with the hair and shit, like a little
Yeah,
Michael Jackson move and shit. I reached out with my right hand, and then you
yeah.
went,
Then I have
and
all
then, yeah, there you go. You turned. I went with my right hand. It was everything, bro. My whole mind was fucked up. You know what I mean? I thought you were black. I was looking for a half black guy. And what's up? Right, right. My man James Apperson's in the building. On the comment section. Anyway, yeah, I met meeting this guy at the cafe. I'm looking for a half black guy. Because we were conversating and communicating prior just on Facebook,
Right.
right? And yeah, because I can talk about that a little bit later on how I first kind of found out about you and stuff like that, which is real short. I already told you. But anyhow, when I went in the cafe, yeah, I was looking for the half black guy, and then I was like, hold up, that's oh shit, you know what I mean? Kind of look like Michael Jackson and shit. You just turn around, whip the hair and shit on me, and then I pull my right hand out, and then you even turn and shit. I was like, what? Oh, is he not accepting my hand? What the fuck? And then you turn around and like, and I didn't know because all your pictures, it didn't dawn on me. I didn't know that
Right.
you had um, your arm, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, right, right. And it's hard, yeah. And I told you because I don't know the climate now. It, just like anybody else, the right verbiage or the right word to say, not disabled or yeah.
Uh,
Or,
I,
but you're not disabled by any way because you,
you're lucky because English is my second language. I don't know what the normal words. You call me
yeah,
handicapped. Like for
right,
me,
right,
it's like it's just a word
right.
for
I was
yeah,
thrown, bro. I was,
everyone,
yeah, yeah.
and
You
disabled, whatever you
right,
know.
right, 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 right. Man, bro, you blew me away, man. You impressed me. You blew me away because before I knew you, I was already a fan of you. And because first off, because we were following each other on Facebook, I was a fan of you because you were very engaged in a lot of my posts when it deals with racial issues and things. So that was first and foremost. And I didn't even know you was into the movie thing until the Facebook wall came up, and then suddenly you won best direct, like, or best short film. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know he was in film. And then I was like, oh shit! In the film that he won was Wallach, the Somalian word. What does the Somalian word mean,
It's
Wallach?
for anxiety and fear,
Right, right.
paranoia.
And that's the film that he won in 2022 best short film of the year in Norway. Yeah, and I was just happy. I was like, damn that. And then he does short. He does film, and he won the award. Plus, it was a black guy that was featured. You know what I'm saying? Although that's a whole nother subject. A lot of Somalians don't be consider themselves black. Not all of them, but some of them. But that's a whole nother subject. One day I'm gonna tackle it on my live. But anyhow, I was happy that it had a black person featured on the film, and I was like, damn. And then I started kind of check y'all a little bit more, and I was like, damn. And already we had a connection because I was like, if this guy stuck around this long on how much I post,
Yeah.
like in the things I post about, then bro, it's cool. And so when we met, I was like, man, bro. In my mind, I was like, bro, that little handicap thing don't stop this guy. This guy is like, I remember you came up, we sat down, brought the computer, opened that motherfucker up, and was like, you was full of energy. It seemed like the room, man, just stopped, and people were like, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like to me people were just tuned into what we were talking about, bro. And even a guy from outside, it reminded me of a movie like from Coming to America or something, where the motherfucker was knocking on the window and shit when the prince was in the store or something, and the homeless guy was knocking on the window and shit, and then the lady was like, "Yo, who is that?" It kind of felt like that in a weird way when I sat down. There's a comment that I post so much on Facebook that even most atheists say that's just too much. No doubt, bro. My Facebook is crazy, James, and Carl knows that. But yeah, it felt like that, man, when we were talking and stuff, and that one white guy knocked on the window and shit, and he came around and he was like, "Hey, Carl." I was like, what? It reminded me of a little scene. I never told you that. It reminded me of a scene in like motherfucking what did I just say? Coming to America and shit. You know what I'm saying? It looked like some. I said, "Who this white bum? Who's this white bum out here knocking on the window for?" And then Carl, he came in and shit, and then dapped you up, and you know what I'm saying. And he left when we sat down. It was a funny yeah. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed your energy, man. The fire seemed like you had passion. To which I love anybody that has true passion that on what they do, man.
I don't
And
think in Norway and with like the money and stuff, you can't really work in film and documentary and things without the passion because
right,
it's
facts.
it's a it's not like in the States. It's Norway has like what 5 million people. It's not much audience to reach. So
Right,
it's not that
right,
much in it. It's a lot is governmental funded and stuff like that. So most people working in industry in Norway are mostly by passion, I think. Yeah, it's
right,
the
right.
or a wish to tell stories.
And anybody just bouncing in just now, I'm talking to the 2022 Best Short Film Norwegian Film winner, the director, writer, executive producer as well on this one, right? On
Yeah,
Walla. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. Now what got you interested in film? And now we talked about your background. You half Burmese, half Norwegian. What got you into film? Or what gave you, what started it all?
I think it was kind of destined. My parents they met in Prague. This is quite interesting. They met in Prague back in 1968. This is a year before the Prague Spring. For those who
Okay.
do not know that, it's Prague Spring is when the Russians, the Prague tried to revolt against the communist regime, and the Russians occupied.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so my parents married right before that, and this is also before Burma fell into a dictatorship, and this is also before Norway had oil. So they were actually planning to move to Burma, but then Burma fell into the dictatorship, and they ended up in Norway.
Uh-huh.
And my father in Prague studied scenography. He wanted to be a scenographer for theater. But when he came to Norway, he actually on random got a job as a AD in
Uh-huh.
a up and coming commercial company, and from there he went into directing commercials and short films. So I kind of grew up with that.
Okay.
So for me, it was always a dream when I was younger, and also being mixed and having the Burmese thing and feeling that I kind of have some original view on Norwegian
Right, right,
society for being mixed. So,
right.
so I always wanted to, yeah.
Right.
We
Hey, we got a couple of because I know this guy, uh we got a couple I'm gonna show. Okay, no, that was the information because somebody had asked the title of the film in the chat. Theme of the film. That is a good question.
yeah.
I can read it off and I'll let him expound upon that. Uh the title of the film is Warlock. And because I think I got mostly an American audience and or outside of Norway audience. And we have Afro Atheist in the building. She's doing a lot of work out there in England. She's Nigerian descent, living in the UK, and she's blowing up in the atheist world. Um, yes, sir. And that's her name is Esther. Yeah, yeah. The let me see. I can read the thing and I'll let him expound on it. But Warlock is a psychological thriller about an asylum seeker who slowly loses his grip on reality while he is isolated in a one-room apartment. Now it's a 17-minute short film. And it's 7.8 IMDb rating.
Yes.
Yeah. So could you expound a little bit on what I just said?
Yeah, sure. I think I should begin with like why and when I wrote it
Yeah,
and
there you go.
in inspiration.
Yes, sir.
So of course I started writing this during the Corona.
Yeah.
Naturally, it was being isolated and all that shit. And then also my mom, Burmese and Burma fell into a new dictatorship back during the Corona.
Okay. Okay.
But this time around, my mom had the due to internet, which did not exist back in the 70s, 60s.
Right.
She had
Right.
more of a possibility to follow what happening directly, and that kind of made her crazy. She could not stop watching, she could not sleep,
Yeah.
and she got severely depressed. And I had to I had to call and get her to a psychiatrist, and we had to have her to quit watching this because it
Right.
really and it's rough. And then I have a very good friend of mine, and she's Iranian refugee who came to Norway when she was 14 and stayed at the refugee camp for many years. And I also have another friend of mine who was a Syrian refugee, and I started talking to them about how it is to come to a new place. And
Uh-huh.
there's been a lot of like these short films that been like discussing the refugee story and the refugee situation, but there's no one touching upon the the issues they bring with them.
Yeah.
There was this, the statistics was horrifying that a lot of refugees actually do take their own lives when they get accepted into the
Yeah.
country, and
Yeah.
it's because of the stress and everything. And I wanted to kind of explore that in a film to show that to kind of a larger audience, what many people are dealing with, sitting there far away from the family,
Yeah.
having this, carrying with them all the things they've experienced and no one to talk to. And I thought the best way to do that is through kind of like a Roman Polanski, David Lynch inspired psychological drama about the guys in this one room apartment, and then he tries to call home to Somalia, and his mother is sick, and then he can't. And then, due to bad internet, he can't get connection back to them, and he kind of spirals into madness from there, not
Right.
being able to sleep. And then one night he gets this photography on the door, and it's basically a photography taken from the bed he's laying on, watching this strange wall on the opposite
Uh-huh.
side of the room, and everything is similar. But in the photography, there's a door that's not there now, and then he starts obsessing, and watch the rest.
Right. Most definitely. Most definitely. I was trying to see if there was a little trailer that was on kind of like YouTube or something like that.
I don't
Uh
think so.
I don't think so.
I think like I think it's out on Filmbib, but I think that's mostly for Norwegians with
Right.
Norwegian roaming
Right.
cards. To talk to
Yeah.
my, Hmm.
No, it's all good. It's all good. And oh, he asked I'll let you read it and I'll let you answer, Carl.
All right, 2 sec. I mean, I was googling to see if I could find.
Oh, the
Right.
trailer? Yeah, you can do that.
It is. It is actually in Somali. There's very little. It's very little dialogue in it. Most of what they are speaking is in Somali,
Right.
uh, and a little bit Norwegian at the big. No, English. Sorry, English at the beginning. But everything is subtitled in English. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Now, uh remember what we were talking about, and I love this guy's mode of thinking, and he is very active on my Facebook when it comes to, in responding at times when it comes to certain racial issues, and that's what I love about you. But I also when we met at the cafe that time, you were when you were talking about kind of the Key and Peele, if you can kind of expound a little bit upon that, on your kind of way of thinking on certain future films, on how you want to approach, or yeah, if you can kind of get into that and talk about that, because that
Yeah.
that was kind of the same thing. If I was, that's kind of how I was thinking. Would I, some sort of kind of film I would like to be a part of, or I'm interested in even watching. Those are the type of films that I like. Like the remember like Tyrone,
Yeah.
that they had
James
in the different
Tyrone.
and all this.
Sorry to bother you, which is I
Sorry,
found very well done.
sorry to bother you. Get Out. Go ahead, and I'll let you.
Yeah. No, so I got very inspired by Get Out and the kind of this new movement from America with young black movie makers who discuss,
Mm, there you
for
go.
them, I mean,
Talk about it.
the racial issues in the US is a bit different than the issues in Europe, because in
Mm,
the US you have this, due to the history of the US and slavery and all that stuff. You have a much more race based. I find it more in Europe. It's more cultural based in a sense. You
yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah. We.
anti
Yep. Yep.
Muslim, the Middle East more than anything.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So it's a bit different. But I'm very interested in using the horror genre
Mm,
and thriller to explore racism and explore history and these things.
mm,
And so I had this idea of this making a horror comedy inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's Shadow over Innsmouth, but set in modern days, following this Somali journalist who who goes to this small fisher island to seek out. There's been like Somalis have been disappearing, and he's suspecting racist killings. But when it comes to this small, like isolated fishing village, what he discovers is completely opposite.
Right.
Because they've been stuck in this. Due to, I don't know if you know the Innsmouth story, but the people in the island has this curse where they're interbreeding with these fish people, so they're turning into half fish monsters late in life, and they have been, due to this inbreeding and these things, they have changed the view that they are more superior than normal humans. That they, like the Übermensch thing, but due to inbreeding, they have now a bad genetic variety, and they need bigger genetic variety, and this is where they have gone into modern science, and they figured that like humanity started in Africa, so they're trying to lure Africans to force them into this horrible breeding project with fishmen to get and our man.
And I swear it reminds me of like Tyrone in that in this other movie that Key and Peele had, not Get Out, but this other one I forgot.
Us?
Us, like Us, like Us, and that.
I thought Us is such a better, but for me, I think Us is so much more of an African American movie because it's so more into your experience.
Yeah. True that. But I still can see hints of, you know what I mean. You're using it for this context out here. So yeah, and like you've been saying, you can see. So for you people that's listening to his concept, you can hear why I was very interested into this person, and I wanted to get him on ASAP. Before he really blows up and his head starts to be way up here, and he don't even he don't know no black people, especially no niggas, So anyway,
only Asians,
right, you know what I'm saying? So or before he, usually what they do is they get that one that just knocks it out the park, and then they don't go back to. So that's why I said I want to be a part of that project or whatever. So then whenever you go into these whenever you go into these romantic comedies and stuff later and all that,
yeah. We'll see. No, I'm currently writing on another feature project with
great segue, because I was going to ask you. So what are you working on that you can kind of talk about, and you can
No, so I've been writing on another.
Or the elements about it, you can you don't have to reveal the whole
No. I'm working on another feature which is kind of like exploring the Western society's obsession with realness and fakeness and having a real experience and
the real Nordic black right there. Go ahead,
man. So which is kind of like if you into philosophy, it's like the Boer idea of hyperrealism and like we're living in especially Western world, and they're living in a society that's saturated with representations of realness but very little actual realness. Like you watch reality on TV, instead of real life, and with the internet and Instagram, and every photo is a filtered photo. It's not real, it's hyper real. It's like this constructed reality, and we're following this upper class family from the upper west side of Oslo, and their marriage is floating because basically they've been having too good of a life, but it's not what they thought it would be. It's not self-realized enough, this idea of that. And so the husband has given up, and he hasn't had sex with his wife for years, and she's been frustrated, and she's been unfaithful once, and then she really thoroughly regrets it and doesn't know what to do with it. And
that sounds very Norwegian kind of traditional. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
More Norwegian part is that the husband knows and he hasn't said anything.
Right.
And then the daughter knows all of that and hates her parents, and they're about to divorce, but then the friend says that like first world problems, they just need the adventure together, so they decide to take their Tesla car on a road trip throughout Norway, and on the way they pick up this hitchhiker that they think is indigenous Sami, but he's not, and he starts wanting to fuck with the family, like showing them that they're not as good as they believe they are, and if they really want to experience something real, he's going to give it to them. There's nothing
Right.
more real than struggling for survival. And then we follow this family in this refugee-like situation throughout Norway, and where
That's
I'm
right.
playing around with this rural people doesn't like city slickers, and yeah,
Right.
this other
Right.
type of classism and the other type
Right.
of racism. So yeah.
Right. Right. And how far are you guys into that? Did you guys you already started filming on this one? Did you or
No, 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 no.
no? Not yet. Yeah.
We've been stuck in development with NFE for
Right. Right.
almost 2 years now. So
Right.
but that's
It's all about them funds, huh?
oh yeah.
Right. 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 Okay.
So
So that's the main one kind of that
well,
you
that's like that, and then also I'm developing a documentary show with for TV,
okay.
which is with this Norwegian comedy guy who Youssef Hadoui. He's a Moroccan comedian who did svart humor, black humor, which
Okay.
is kind of a
Because I was
program.
about to ask, so I was about to ask why him.
Yeah, because that's a very funny humor show where he plays around with Norwegian racism
Got you.
and integration and stuff. And
Yeah.
so it's going to be like this. We're following four refugee or immigrants to Norway who has done it well and are very well integrated. And we're making a comedy about like integration. What does it mean to be Norway and yeah, these kind of things. So like a feel good stuff to kind of like bridge the gap a bit more, especially in these times where everything is so hairy
Right.
politically.
Right. Right.
Um,
And then that leaves us to the idea that you we spoke about. We probably can't even mention at all. No, no, actually you did. We mentioned that earlier. That's right. My bad
yeah,
about the small sleepy fishy town. What am I talking about? Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, you went to I saw that you went to the London Film School, right?
yeah, yeah,
So that,
correct.
is that where you learned most of your trade in England, right? How long were you out there?
So that's about 3 years. It was a
Okay,
2 year master.
right.
Uh,
Now, did you
so yeah,
learn mostly when you were at the school, or do you think you learned more when you practically were doing things kind of
you learn as
on
you go. I think like
right, right,
movie making is more of a craft than a academical thing.
right,
You know,
right,
go to film school because it's a safe place to try yourself and fail without consequences. I think. I
right,
mean,
right,
I'll speak highly of London Film School.
right, right.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool,
it was
cool.
good. So,
Right, right, right. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, yeah. No, you know, that was pretty much it. It wasn't really much. That's why I said I just wanted you to come in. Since I had you on my Facebook, I've known you
yeah.
for a while, and I just kind of wanted to get this documented in a way. Yeah, but if you guys haven't heard what he was saying, I don't think some of you guys or whoever's gonna watch this video later, you guys need to pay attention to this guy, who he is, and the concepts and the things that he's talking about, because I really believe that he's gonna, you know, he's gonna make some hits, some more waves out
Well,
there.
thank you, thank you,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thank you for having
Um,
me. It's very nice of
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Um, Definitely. Yeah, yeah. We gotta pay attention. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else. I think we pretty much went over everything. I'm trying to see if I can pull something else out my hat. Any last thing that you might I
No,
might
I mean,
hopped over oh, maybe I can ask about me, and this
yeah,
will be nice since you follow me. Oh, hold up. Somebody just mentioned something. Let me see. Carl, if you ever make a movie in America, I want to be in it for sure. Hey, look, James, you're over here. We his little studio or office is right around the corner from my crib, man, and so bro, you already know. I told the guy. I said, listen, you gotta. I need to come from, I need to get off the internet and get in somebody's screen. I will watch this from the start afterwards for sure. Appreciate that, Afro Atheist Esther. Yes, sir. Oh, there was one other thing. Oh, so since we got Esther in the building and James in the building, since you've kind of known me for a while, my Facebook, ain't it crazy though?
You're falling off. I can't. Are you muted or I?
Okay.
There you go. There you go. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear.
I don't know what it is, bro. Today it's like,
Bad technical
yeah,
glitch.
yeah, yeah. It's the
Also, it
software.
says
It's the
NASA
software.
reported a huge sunstorm today, so maybe it's like the
Yeah,
magnetic
yeah.
fucking up everything.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you have a Facebook link, right? You know what? I'm gonna put his links underneath the video. I actually had it set up. I actually had it set up. Yeah, yeah. James Apperson. That's his for sure. James Apperson. That's James Apperson's Facebook. He's one of my buddies on here. Cause I have a crowd from the atheist crowd.
All right,
So
yeah.
we have a bunch of yeah. I'm a black atheist, as you know, man. It's like
It's not usual to meet an open atheist from the States, though.
yeah, you feel me? Exactly right. Exactly. And then Esther, the Afro atheist, she has her YouTube channel, Afro atheist. And she's more popular than me for sure. I trail behind her by miles. You know, she's on TikTok and doing all those big things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
understand it. Like, there's a huge atheist movement in the States.
yeah, it's
Insane
waking
how
up,
much.
man.
It's so weird how like the evangelicals changed so much because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the first social American pro-social movement, the first socialist movement in the States were evangelical. You know that? Like they
Mm.
were the first who wanted to try and get social democracy into the States, and now they turned completely around and maybe are the most vicious bunch of unchristian Christians you could find. It's uh, it's insane.
Right, right. No,
Destroyed the whole thing.
what is your now that we talk about it, you're not a Buddhist, right? What is
No,
what
I'm
is
an atheist.
you're
I mean,
atheist.
like,
Okay, yeah.
my father was Russian Orthodox, and
Right.
my mom coming to Norway, which when she came to Norway was a very Christian country, and she does as a Buddhist from Burma, she doesn't know squat about Christianity. So when she reads
Mm.
like allegories in academia, like they're brothers, like Cain and Abel, and as
Right.
a Buddhist, it's like, well, they love each other, then they're brothers. But Cain and Abel, but she didn't know that story. So actually, I went to Kristelig Gymnas, Christian Gymnasium, which is like which is actually like yeah, that's actually an evangelical Christian school.
Right.
Uh, and when I was 19, my mom sent me to Burma, where she put me in a cloister, a monk cloister. So I was a novice monk for a couple of
Wow.
months.
Wow.
And but I'm an atheist. Like
Right,
you touch
right,
on so many dominations and
right,
religions, you turn into an atheist, I guess.
right. We're gonna yeah read this real quick, and then I just thought of another question for you. But James says most non-believers keep a low profile in America because we are a very hated group here, for sure. Religious group assume everyone needs God belief, or else we can't be
I think
moral.
I've been reading a bit about like the McCarthy period in the States, and it seems a bit like atheism and communism, like culture in America has been like mixed into something, and it's like it's as hard to be a socialist as an atheist,
Right,
like
right, right,
even a president saying he's not Christian, like he's an atheist, he wouldn't win an election. Neither would the president candidate saying he's a socialist, and
right.
it's there's something strange happened in the States
And
during I guess the 60s.
and
So yeah,
and and, and James, we know that there, right or wrong. Mark Allen Smith about morals and things like that. There you go. Why? Yeah, I got to promote, bro. People don't. I have to do this because sometimes people just think I'm just be on the internet. I don't be, bro. My library is crazy. Anyway, I was gonna. What is your thought on the Norwegian film industry and when it comes to the lack of? Do you believe that they have a lack of diversity and things like that? Could you give me your opinion on that from the experience and the time you've been a part of the industry here in Norway, the film industry. Um, what do you
I
think
think,
about that when it comes to?
well, I actually have a lot to say about that. I think first
Yeah,
of
Go
For
ahead.
the, Norway is a very small country with 5 million people in Norway, so we're not that many. And Norway is very socially corrupt. There's a lot of like social corruption. It's a lot about who you know and
Right.
things like that. And that makes it hard, I think, for
A lot of
minorities.
fake people, man. Right.
It's
A lot of fake. I mean, I was invited. I was invited to the Vixen Awards where the influencers. That was hella
but
fake,
they
man.
are fake people. They're
Oh
influenced.
my God. It was a
All
yeah.
over
It
the
was
world.
some yeah. It was
They're
somebody
just in
from
it for the PR and money. They're very
right,
superficial people. So
right,
you
right, right.
don't expect much from people who are superficial.
For
But
sure.
besides that, there is this, and there's not that much money in the industry. As I told you, 5 million people. It's not that big of an audience. To make a movie is expensive. And then we have this. Norway has this tradition of being highly political. Like you probably noticed that Norwegians are very political breed. We're
Mm.
political animals, and so there's a lot of like political controlling over what we want to do and what the movies industry should be and should not be. And I think that shapes it. And I think like when it comes to getting more minorities, I think they are Norwegian in the institute is kind of like fumbling in darkness and not sure what to do.
Mm.
I find that the way they argue why we should get more minorities to make movies is a wrong way to argue, because they're arguing that yes, because minorities have a different view on society and tell stories white people can't tell. Yes, to a certain extent, but first of all, we're humans. First of all, we're more similar than different. We have, of course, different perspectives, and but mostly we're similar. I think the most important argument should be that yes, it's discriminating against a lot of minorities, so they should be able to make movies. You don't need to give another reason. I think through that reason, people get an idea that minorities make minority movies, which is what
Mm.
labels us. And
You know
I
right.
like to, when we talk about this identity and stuff, like I always like to point towards Simone de Beauvoir and her feminist movement and her book The Second Sex, where she points out that she's not a like she's not a female philosopher. She's a philosopher. She's more than her sex. Yeah, I'm more
Uh
than
huh.
my minority. I'm more than my handicap. I don't like to be defined by that.
Uh huh.
So, and I don't like the way, and if he is forcing you into like defining yourself as a minority or a handicapped person just to be able to get more money to make your movie, I think it's a bit stupid. But
Right.
like people they're trying. They're meant for a good thing. Like
But like
so.
like the funding, when it comes, I bet it's a little bit more difficult to get the funding compared to if you were etnisk norsk in a
Well,
way. Yeah,
I mean, it's been difficult to get the producers to get
right,
things
yeah,
because again of the how the society is
right,
very very family. Like it's a bit who socially
right,
corrupt.
right,
I,
right,
I but I find like I have to say like the first immigrants came to Norway in the late 60s, and now we have
right,
immigrants in big position in big political parties. you
right,
know how long did it take the states to get Obama? Like
right.
so
For sure. Yeah,
Norway is not that bad, but things take time. Like
yeah,
and you have to give it time,
right,
and
right.
yeah,
Let's
generations have to pass away and new one has to come in, so
real
they
talk.
are used to it. I mean, I don't want to sound awful, but
Right,
you learn an old dog in new tricks. So,
right,
you need to, like the old generation in Norway that grew up with a completely white Norway are, of course, skeptical to brown people.
right,
When I
right.
grew up, I mean, I experienced like I grew up on the west side, like the more we were not many immigrants,
The
and
more affluent. Yeah, yeah.
I had like some experiences when I was younger, but my mom
Right.
told me, my mom being Buddhist, she told me like, yeah, you should just feel sad for them because they must
Right.
have a horrible life before.
For real, man.
So yeah,
Let me show the comment James said. Here we have, and he's talking
yes,
about in America. Here we have a culture war between left and right. Conservatives often conflate atheism, communism, and socialism. But in reality, atheists have all different ideas about
yeah,
economic systems, of course, for
yeah.
sure.
Ayn Rand, she was an atheist, and she's like the symbol of Republicans. The one
Yeah.
with Atlas Shrugged and stuff. The maker of
Speaking of her, they have a how you pronounce her name again? Honor Rand.
Ayn Rand.
Yeah, yeah. She
Ayn Rand. She was Russian.
right. She they're featuring her a lot because they have a play.
She's
It's
fucking
all over.
crazy.
Yeah, it's all the play is all over the city about her. This play that's going on right now in circulation. And Norway is considerably small for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Like in population, we are small, but still.
Yeah, and right, very long. I'll be trying to
Loads
tell
of
people.
space. This is why Norwegians are socially awkward. We're not used to having to meet other people daily.
Right, right, right. So yeah, no, there was what was that one other question that I was gonna say if I can remember it before we get off. But I know yeah, I think you touched on the industry there in Norway and far as you know it. But you're optimistic though, I can tell, and that's awesome. And yeah. But no, any questions people in the chat before we let them go?
Yeah, feel free. Any questions?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they already asked. And I surprised everybody. You know, I'm not like Esther, the Afro atheist, and the rest of these professionals. They let people know ahead of time when, and they do more probably preparation. I just let's go.
It's the best way.
Yeah,
Just feel it.
yeah. Like I called you, I called you after work, man, and I was like, you know what, man, let me get you in, and you said, yeah,
Yeah, sure.
boom.
Why not?
And
Why not?
I just thought of it. I didn't even, you know what I mean. I said, let me throw you in there. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, James he will pick it apart. James, he's very thorough. I'm telling you that
That's
right
cool.
now.
Cool.
So if he will have some questions for your ass. Yes, sir. All right,
I mean,
Carl
like,
George Runston, aka Michael Jackson. Huh?
yeah. Anyways, so if I'm not sure if Valak is what you like open to view from outside of Norway, but I think I sent you a link with the password.
Okay.
Have you to you, or I can send you one and you can send it to
Yeah,
them
but
just to make
you
sure.
could have a long time ago, but yeah, could you send me a link with a
Yeah,
password?
sure, sure, sure.
Um, I have this one thing. Hold on, I'm about to check one thing real quick. Cause if these folks have y'all film, let me see. Voila. Yeah, you have to send me
Yeah,
that
yeah.
thing. Yeah, and yeah, you send me the link, and I will definitely send it to them. Yeah, but anyway, it will have. You think it'll have subtitles on the?
Yes, it's subtitled in English.
It's subtitled in. Oh yeah, James. It's only 17 minutes. James will watch through it, and I'll watch through it, and Esther will watch through it too for sure. Definitely. How many movies has Carl done? Yeah, do you know the total number? He's done a bunch on his IMDb. I put inside the chat. You can
It's
click
like
on.
3 short films that I've done properly outside of school, and one TV documentary that's about 50 minutes. That's the one about the youth rights in Norway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. About the youth rights and the one that he won uh the best in 2022 best Norwegian short film. Was that your third short film that you have done at the
Yeah,
time
outside of school. Yeah,
outside of school?
it's my like so my grad movie was my first kind of outside of school, and then
Okay.
I made this 2 minute short film, and then I did Wallach. And Wallach actually, the thing with Wallach is we didn't get funding from any of the Norwegian institutes, so we had to do it very low budget. We made the whole short film for $20,000,
Right.
so very low budget.
Right. Right.
I was
Right.
quite
Right.
surprised actually that we got into the festival and that we
Right.
won. Very
Right,
surprised.
bro. That's the thing. This is why I got this guy in here. Because he reminds me of me. You know what I'm saying? The little engine that could. Because he's for little. He's got a lot of bang for his buck, man. He's been doing what he could for what little, and Yeah, and all the ideas that from the Lovecraft Country, the Get Out to sorry I forgot the name. Sorry I bothered you.
Oh yeah, Body, which is one of my
Yeah,
favorites because
right, right.
it's just it's not the best movie, but I mean the
You
script
know,
is
after we had that meeting, I went back and saw that film again. Yeah,
it's
that
completely wild, but it's
right,
just well done comment as well. I think I thought it was very well done.
right, right, for sure. All
Well,
right.
thank you, James and Afro Atheist. You please add me on Facebook.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna put add him on Facebook for sure. Let me see. I'm gonna find your Facebook on here right now and throw it in the chat because eventually, because I'm even gonna I gotta throw information even on the live that me and James did yesterday, and I'm gonna add more information on this video today. I had the information already in there, but it screwed up and we had to do live stream again. Um, let me see. Boom, boom. I believe. Let's see. Yeah, yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, that's his Facebook for sure. Yeah, and that's your social media mainly is kind of like Facebook in a
And
way, right?
Instagram. Yeah, yeah.
And Instagram. Okay, yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you.
I mean, I'm a filmmaker. I have to be on Instagram.
That's true. That's true. But so on your Instagram, you kind of promote things there, or is it just personal?
I do promote things on Instagram and also some
Okay.
personal, more like set
Okay.
photos and stuff like that.
Okay. Let me see where your Instagram is then. Let me see. Hold up. Boom. Let me see. If you pop up on here. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm gonna throw that in the this was on bro. This is a proof to people, bro. I just try to get shit done. I don't care about that the editing of the videos and I just let me see. I be doing shit on a whim, man. I'm trying to see if I can see the Are you able to put it in the
Yeah,
comment yourself,
I'm
Carl?
trying to figure. I have to connect my YouTube, all this internet stuff.
Because
It's always
I'm trying to so I don't have to. Let me see.
see StreamYard. I think here we are.
Oh, I think I
I
found you
just
too.
failed to post,
If it's the right, yeah, that's you.
but it's failed to post. It says or have it.
But you know
Me.
what? I got you, bro. Hold up, let me see. I got you, bro. Let me see. This got to be you right here.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah. So his Instagram, yes, sir. So you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram for now, and I'm sure his official, future projects will be dropped on there, and hopefully
Hopefully.
on the one with the fish and all that. I hope I can be a
Uh,
part of that in the
hopefully,
future.
hopefully. I mean, it's. I really want to do that, and I have
Yeah,
some
me too.
other kind of like comedy,
Right.
satirical movies based on
Yeah,
these
yeah,
things.
yeah.
So yeah, thank you for having me. It was really
For
nice
sure.
of you. Cheers.
Yeah. All right, my brother.
All right.
Peace
See
out.
you guys. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.